tell us kind of what the defining moment was that made you
Yeah.
start Simone Law and got you
Yeah.
kind of out doing your own thing.
No, it's a great question. I love my time at Gray. It was a great experience. I just think as the company grew, I did a bad job from the beginning of setting boundaries. And I think, we've got three small kids at home. We were blessed to have twins in February after,
Nice.
a 4-year kind of fertility journey that involved way too many shots and way too many
Wow.
doctor's visits. But, God was good and blessed us with that. And I think we're kind of in this weird, I think all of us are in this weird kind of middle age where we're not old, but we're also not young anymore, right? I'm 39 and you're starting to kind of think of like what is your life going to really look like? And
Hmm.
for me, I just the last 2 or 3 years, I'm naturally a pretty happy, a pretty goofy guy, but I was pretty grumpy, and I
Hmm.
would often kind of I felt bipolar almost. Like I'd have really really good moments and really really frustrating moments. So I remember it was like April, and my great wife Jessica, I came home one day and I just said, Jess, like I want to quit my job. I didn't have anything lined up. I it can kind of take a little bit of time to find something. So I said, hey, I want to quit. I want to take a 3 month sabbatical, and I have no idea what I want to do. And she said, "That's great." She kind of said, "Hey, you've been kind of grumpy the last couple of years." And I think it's, we kind of had permutations of this, and it's funny. I mean, sometimes it is kind of crazy. You kind of float above yourself and hear the story, but I
Hmm.
really have to thank her because it would have been really easy for her to kind of, I mean, it was a very comfortable life, but I think my family, my faith, my health were definitely not my priority. So
Yeah.
it was just, yeah, and then it kind of just went from there.